Hi there, it's Sarah Benkin-Fishy, your host for the High Achieving Female podcast powered by No. I am so excited for this episode. It is a CEO chat with Kay McDonald of Charity Charms. She has been part of our community since the very beginning. And today we are talking all about fashion accessories. I cannot wait for you to learn all about Kay. Welcome to the High Achieving Female podcast powered by No, where we believe high achieving female leaders deserve to be known. Here, you're going to get the tips, tools, and inspiration you need to network, grow, scale, and balance your business, career, and life. Hello, welcome to another episode of the High Achieving Female podcast powered by No. I am so excited to have one of my top Phoenix-based gal pals, Kay McDonald with Charity Charms, in the seat with me today. Kay, welcome to our show.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
I'm so excited to talk to you because for all of those who are listening out there and who have been a part of No, or maybe you're just new to No, Kay was actually, I love saying this, Kay was actually one of the first 100 women to say yes to No in Phoenix. And I think probably one of the very first 5, like in all of No history.
Well, I love your concept, Sarah. So I had to jump on board.
I just adore that. And I really want to talk about who you are today, Kay. I want our listeners to learn a little bit more about you and what you're doing, the impact that you're making. You have an amazing company brand called Charity Charms. I want to dig into that. But before we do, why don't you just start with telling me a little bit about who you are and your background?
Oh, all righty. Well, let's see. I live here in Phoenix, Arizona. I have my own company called Charity Charms that I've had for 18 years, and we'll get into that. But before that, I owned a women's accessory company called Regalia, and I used to do fashion accessories and had a store, had a website, and used to do like Junior League gift marts and shows all over the country. So I've always kind of been in fashion and accessories. And before that, I was a buyer for 2 department stores here in Arizona, Southwest and Goldwater. So I think throughout my life, I've been involved in fashion and a little bit of philanthropy and kind of have melded those together with my business. I've been in Phoenix about 30 years, which is kind of weird because I grew up a military brat. Yeah, my dad was a colonel in the Air Force, and we lived all over the world and moved every 2 years. So I was always the new girl. But I think that was good. Got me lots of exposure to all different kinds of people and some interesting places in the world. Like I lived in Italy and Greece and Colorado, Montana, that whole thing. So yeah, that's kind of my background.
Oh my gosh. So I can probably imagine that all of those varied experiences and different regions really have a lot to do with like how you live, work, and play today. And even like what we're seeing from Charity Charms and some of the other like fashion work that you've done in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of all comes full circle.
I love that. And so when we met, oh my gosh, 5 years ago, probably about 5.5 now years ago, we were connected by way of No, our Women to Know book that was going to be launching, the very first issue, going to be launching right here in Phoenix, Arizona. And you were telling me about your company, Charity Charms. And when we were meeting, you were saying, look, I have these bracelets that we could do. Have you ever thought about doing a member bracelet? Or we have really great opportunities for gifting, but to tie in philanthropic opportunities and impact. And I want to start kind of going into a little bit about Charity Charms. What is Charity Charms and how do you help organizations? I know we'll talk about members organizations, women's groups, nonprofits. How do you help bring in impact and parallel that with fashion?
So we're kind of an unusual company. I call us private label, B2B, but it's, that's business to business, but we're also business to charity. What we do is we create charms from an organization's logo, and we believe in the power of charms as a way to help them spread awareness and engage their audience. So many times, there's the traditional swag, there's t-shirts, there's bags, there's hats. through my other business, Regalia, I realized that there was a real need with charities to have something that was a little bit higher end to thank all their female donors and all their female attendees. So I started creating these charms. It just kind of came to me one day that we could take the icons in their logos and turn them into beautiful charms, or the words or the symbols. And the company is now 18 years old. We have developed into a premier private label company. So, for example, people will come to me just like you did, Sarah, and we said, okay, what would fit the brand? Well, we thought a beautiful pink quartz bracelet would be lovely, and a beautiful charm that had your logo on it. And then we also include packaging that tells the story of the charity or the organization. We have lots of different options there. And so we offer probably 10 products right now that are unique and different and a wonderful way for charities, women's organizations, and businesses to do some higher end gifting.
I love that. And so we're talking like leather bracelets with a charm attached to it. We're talking necklaces with chains. We're talking beaded, our bracelet was beaded and it had the chain, and you know what, or it had the charm with our logo on it. And then the year that the woman joined is featured in note. And what I love, Kay, I have to tell you, I was just in Tampa at their launch party, and a woman walked up to me and she said, look, I have it. I'm wearing my bracelet tonight. And it's so sweet. And we used you and your company to do member gifting or welcome onboarding for women who are featured in our publications, really just to say we're a sisterhood and the power of no exists. And if you have the bracelet, then you're one of us. So I love this concept because Charity Charms is so unique, but it fits so well in our marketplace of of women who want to like link arms together, really any organization, any kind of community, if you will. Talk about some of the other fun projects that you've done within Charity Charms.
Well, one of the things that I really love is I get to meet the most amazing organizations and the most amazing women. During the pandemic, when things were quite slow, I started interviewing my clients, and it turned into a podcast, a blog. We set up a YouTube channel, and then I actually published a book. And the book features women that I've worked with, the projects that we've done, or maybe their favorite symbol. You are in the book. And people can go on to a separate website that I built called Power of Charms. And
I love that.
And what's really neat is it opened up a whole new dimension for me. I mean, I've always loved the product development part of it, but this really just added a whole new dimension and allowed us to share the stories of our clients and get them more exposure. So I just love it, and it's ongoing. We've made it a part of our business.
That is so cool. It's really full circle. So you, outside of creating opportunities, because I know you've worked with a lot of top nonprofits.
Yes.
You've created a lot of beautiful pieces I know you worked with LabCorp, their women's division, LabCorp, and Lisa Wester. You've done some really great pieces for a lot of people here in the world. But I love how now the new wave is like pulling it all together full circle. So not only are you creating pieces for these organizations, but it's much, much more meaningful because you're now able to tell their stories and featuring in them in this book, which I have a charm, everyone, and we'll be sure to put the link in the show notes if you want to grab that. But I have a charm. I'm part of your community and your book.
Yes, and I just love that. It was so fun to interview. You were one of the first to be interviewed for this book concept. You know, one other thing, Sarah, that I want to mention, because some people are asking me, why is it Charity Charms? And sometimes they think it's a retail company. We do have a small retail aspect to it where people can go on and buy some of the symbols in our line that are already created. But the key aspect to Charity Charms is that our products are made by charities. So those bracelets that we did for No, and the necklaces, they're strung and made by our charity partner, Seeds for Autism. And so really that makes us more of a social enterprise, because we are employing charities to do the products, and that also makes it full circle.
Oh, I love this so much. So this is really great because you were also able to like give back, right? So you're employing people who are putting these bracelets together. I think this is such an amazing concept. So you've been involved in No for the last 5.5 years. You have attended our events. You've been published in our publications. You have even attended some of our summits and all of the things, Kay. You're definitely one of our favorite partners here at No.
Oh,
But
thank you.
what I want you to do is I want you to tell me about a collaboration or collaborations that have formed through meeting these dynamic women who are part of this community.
Okay, well, this is going to be fun. So I actually, Lisa Wester from LabCorp connected with me to create a custom bracelet for their women's organization at LabCorp. And she somehow found me online and started asking me about No. And so I told her all about it. And then not only did we do a fabulous project together, but she joined No and is now an active member. And then another just really amazing collaboration is Binary Bling with Sharon Jones out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Dr. Sharon Jones is a member of No, and she, I think, asked you if you had any recommendations of somebody that could make a custom bracelet for her. And so you connected us, and we hit it off right away and made a custom bracelet for her. She teaches binary code to young women through her organization, Dottie Rose Found. So we made this great bracelet, put this beautiful card together in custom story. But as we talked, I shared with her that I was working on another project where we were putting together beading kits, more of a DIY craft thing that would be available for like young women's organizations, the Girl Scouts, things like that. And she said, "Oh my God, I've been looking for something like that forever," because a little kit to teach young women how to do binary code by creating bracelets. It makes it fun, makes math fun, and engages them. So we launched this incredible program together. She and her team flew into Phoenix. I have another gal that was working on this with me, and we had a whole weekend. We created the bracelets. I took their whole team to Seeds for Autism because they're assembling everything. And I mean, we were crying. The clients at Seeds for Autism were making the bracelets and loving it, and then making the boxes. And we did a whole blog and podcast. She's got a whole website up now. She named it Binary Bling. We just have shipped her probably 500 binary kits so far. And she plans to take this to charter schools all over the country. So talk about an amazing collaboration that I made through No that I never would have made, Sarah.
This week's episode of the High Achieving Female Podcast is brought to you by the No Global Membership. It's time. Get in the room to network with women you want and need to know. Link to join the membership is in the show notes below. And don't forget, you can also claim your freebie today. I love this story. I love all of the stories about the power of No, but that one is incredible.
It is. It truly is.
Talk to us about some of the other really cool projects that you've been able to do with Charity Charms. Maybe not even No related, just something cool that's really come that you never thought.
Well, there's a real niche that we've created for nonprofits where we do a whole line of jewelry for them, and then they can sell it on their websites or through their events. So there is a fundraising aspect to Charity Charms because the products that we create are provided to them at wholesale. So they can double the price and use it as a fundraiser. For example, we do a full line of jewelry and keychains for the Salvation Army. And we've done that for like 10 years. We even built a custom website for them where everything can be fulfilled. There's a fabulous organization in Utah called Best Friends Animal Society, and they are one of the largest animal organizations in the country with lots of other smaller organizations under their umbrella. They have a website and they have a jewelry section, and we make every single item in there, which they sell as a fund and use it for fundraising. Those are two of kind of the biggest ones. And then we've done lots of interesting gifting. Like I just did a bracelet, a pearl bracelet with a sterling silver charm for an organization called Akarama. And they are an organization that provides scholarships for young Black women. And they provided this beautiful logo. And then we did this great packaging, and we made 300 for all of their attendees that were at a conference.
I love this, and as you're saying these things, I'm thinking about all of the amazing organizations out there that you could do work with, because again, I'm such a big fan of Charity Charms and everything that you're doing, Kay. I could just think of like how many people need you, and they're alive.
They do.
So this is why I really wanted to get you on the podcast, because I really wanted to introduce you to the greater world of the high achieving female podcast and the listeners, because ladies, I guess gentlemen, if you're listening too, but ladies, there's so many ways that you can leverage Charity Charms for impact, right? For new member gifts, for, loving on people that you're already, affiliated with. Are there minimums? Are there requirements? If someone wanted to come and connect with you and have you put together, design a piece for them, what does that look like?
Yeah, so we do have minimums to do a project. If it's a custom charm, we have a $500 setup fee. It's a one-time fee, and then we can use the design over and over again. And then we offer all different options. Like you can do a bracelet that's $5. You can do a bracelet that's $50. For the $5 bracelet, we'd have like a 100-piece minimum, and for the $50 bracelet, we'd have like a 25-piece minimum. I would say our sweet spot is program where we do over 500 units, 300 to 500 units. So large production, because that we also offer volume discounts because of the wholesale pricing. But so there's a couple ways you can come into us and we can do a collaboration and create a custom program for you and do like bulk. We also do have on our website, if you click on the Power of Charms, we have about 30 beautiful sterling silver charms that an organization could go in and say, gosh, I really like that one, and that could mean this to us. And we make them all, everything's custom, but you could go in and you could buy like one, you could buy 25, you could buy 50. And so that's a really good fit maybe for smaller organizations. We have your charm in that section, which is really cute. It's a round charm and it has a high heel and a purse and a string of pearls. Yeah. Any women's organization can use that. And when anybody buys that charm, we give a percentage back to your philanthropic arm.
I love this so much. This is so great. Talk to me a little bit about our special project that we just unveiled. So tell everybody about what we've got going.
Oh, well, I'm so excited. So you went into private label products for the women and had all these not cute, but fun phrases and branding and everything. You did t-shirts and mugs, but what was missing was a jewelry component.
Right.
I had to point that out, Sarah. But anyway, so we just made these lovely gold-plated. There's two different styles, and they say no on one side and women supporter on the other. And they're a great way to support you because you're also using them to raise funds within the organization. And then they're just really fun layering pieces. How everybody's wearing lots of different gold necklaces or silver necklaces with lots of different styles. So this is like the perfect extra piece or fun piece that shows you're a part of No.
Yep. I'm so excited about this. We've just recently unveiled this necklace, and you are absolutely right, Kay. It was a bucket list item for us to do a beautiful jewelry piece. We have already done the member bracelets. We have our t-shirt line, totes and notebooks and all of these things coming, but we were missing the gold necklace, and we now have it. it thanks to Kay, who literally can take your ideas, your dreams, your concepts and make them into a reality. So that's what I'm really so excited about. How do people find you, Kay? How do they get to work with you?
Well, the best way is to go to our website, which is charitycharms.com. There's an inquiry that you can sign up for, just sign up your name and your address and everything. It's a little thing and it'll come directly to me. You provide your phone number and like a few details about your organization and what you're looking for. That's the very best way. Then you can also go on and see the different products and options. What I really like to have someone send me an inquiry and then set up a Zoom call that we can go through their needs, figure out what would be the best fit for them. And I can send them packages of samples. We can show things online, during the Zoom call. That's probably the very best way to reach out to me. And my email address is kay@charitycharms.com.
I love this. Is there anything new on the horizon? What can we look forward to seeing from you? Anything?
Oh, yes, there's always new products. We launch a new product every year. This year, we are doing a couple new things. We have this fabulous cuff that the ends twist off, and you can add a bunch of little tiny charms to it and create a whole story.
Oh, that's
really excited about that. Yeah, because the bracelet either comes in two-tone or it comes in your brand colors. And then the charms are either gold and silver. So that's really fun. We're also doing gold and silver beaded bracelets, just round beads, but you can do different sizes. And again, it will include the logo charm. And I think doing the charm necklace for you, that was the first one that we'd done in that style. It was like a lace engraved. So I'm sure we'll be doing more of that in the new year as well.
I sure hope so. That is so exciting. I love all of these new things that you have rolling out. And I want to see everyone wearing their woman supporter necklace and contacting Kay to get your own personalized goodies. These are so amazing. Kay, thank you so much for being on our podcast. Thank you so much for sharing about No and really just saying yes and leaping into this really fun movement that No has become since the very beginning.
Well, thank you. I love the fact that you had me on here, and I just have to do a little shout out for you, Sarah, because I've seen you from the very inception of this concept, and then it's grown into this national amazing organization. It brings so much value. And I think one of the things that's so nice is a lot of times women, especially when they own their own businesses, they feel like an island unto themselves. And this provides a community and everybody's real supportive. It's like just a wonderful way to get questions answered, learn new things, and meet great other women.
That is so true. And again, you really have seen it since the very, very beginning.
The start.
You are one of my few faves, and I'm so excited to continue to do life with you. Kay, thank you again for being here. Everyone, reach out to her if you have any needs on the jewelry gifting side. If you want to talk about No, if you want to connect and make new friends and new partners, she is the woman to know. Thank you, Kay, for being a part of this.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the High Achieving Female Podcast, powered by No, where we believe it's time for high achieving women like you to be seen, heard, and recognized. Until next time, remember, you deserve to be known.